What is up, all my Nexus family? It is your host, Dr. Daniel Kimbley, and you are tuned into another episode of the Nexus Podcast. And on this week's episode of the podcast, what I want to talk about is this idea of subtle changes that are very difficult to pick up on because of the way that our brains function. So here is what went down. Last week, I'm having a conversation with one of our clients, and the conversation went something like this. As I'm adjusting them, they're laying there on the table and they express to me the fact that they have had life-changing results as part of being under care in our office. And I'm actually going to share two different stories with you. So the first one is just a simple, I wasn't able to work out. My back felt super tight. I was getting in and out of my car was extremely excruciating. And yet they were going through life functioning fine, right? Now they're functioning full out, which is great because working out is better. And if this person who now can work out without having to feel like they're inhibited, they feel more power, they feel more sense of power, they feel more certainty in themselves, they show up in their relationships better. They show up in their business better. They show up for the people that matter to them. They show up serving at church better. All these places, just for the simple fact that back pain went away. Now, this is the coolest part. It's yes, we can get people out of pain, but I always tell people inside of Nexus, we really don't care about pain that much. We're not pain focused. What we are is life focused, right? We want to see people profit from life experiences. We want to see people experience more presence. We want to see people experience more productivity. We want to see people experience more of their soul purpose and express that in life and do the things that they absolutely love to do. And so I share this story with you and these couple of stories with you because I had a realization about myself. So we have on one hand, we have this guy coming in, back pain goes away, he's doing amazing, working out harder in the gym than he's worked out in a long time, uninhibited by the stuff that would generally affect him just a little bit in life. On the other end, we have a mama who comes in, and she's been coming into us for quite some time, started with one of their daughters, and now they have the whole family in, and it's such a blessing for this family. But the coolest part is mom literally said to me, she said, I had this realization this week that my anxiety is completely gone. And the things, I used to get anxious about traveling, and we travel all over the world, and we go to get to check out these beautiful countries, and we're so fortunate that we get to do it. Literally one of the most amazing, wholesome families, but yet mom was plagued by this sense of anxiety and this sense of I can't do this thing. I can't go enjoy because I have to get the house clean. I can't go enjoy because I have to get all the kids packed up. I can't go enjoy because this thing's not done over here and it's running in the back of my head and it's giving me anxiety and anxiousness and nervousness and self-doubt. And she's all that stuff is gone. And I'm having so much more fun in life. And I just feel amazing doing it. So we hear these stories all the time of families expressing health, families experience more purpose, families experiencing more connection. And what it's had me thinking about as I'm adjusting one of these clients last week, I'm oh my gosh, I have had the exact same experience. Literally the exact same experience, and I forgot because it's so easy to just get wrapped up in the world and forget where you were versus where you are now. And so for me, I'm sitting there, I'm literally adjusting someone, hands on their head, and I have this moment of, wow, you have been sleeping amazing. So, and I'm talking about myself. When I say you've been sleeping amazing, I'm talking about myself. And so I started reflecting in this moment, oh my gosh, why do I sleep amazing? And then I snapped myself back into no, I'm adjusting someone. So I started thinking about it after the fact and really reflecting on this idea of okay, why was I sleeping so amazing? Why did this mom who was experiencing anxiety for most of her life as a mom now completely gone? Why is this person who I share with you able to go to the gym, getting out of their car, just expressing a new level of passion and purpose in life, and they already had it to begin with? And then for me, I realized oh man, there's so much that has changed as a result of Dr. Taylor being in our office, our associate doctor being able to adjust me the way that we adjust inside of our practice. And here's my journey, right? And I'll share what happened with my sleep and all that here in just a second, but I have to share a little bit of my journey with you. So for the last 5 years living in Dana Point, I've jumped from chiropractor to chiropractor to chiropractor to chiropractor. Why? Because I never really found anybody who I felt I noticed a significant difference inside of my life. I would kind of feel physically better, but that would only last for a day or two. Everybody has a very different process than what we have. Nobody can adjust like we adjust. Nobody adjusts like we adjust. And so I'm searching, pay this chiropractor, pay another chiropractor, some would do it for free. And I'm searching, and finally it's we hire Dr. Taylor, and I'm reflecting over the course of the last 6 months, and I realize that, man, my sleep and my experience of stress has been very, very low. Now, adding a team member to the mix actually adds more stress in my life. Having a toddler who's now a teenager adds more stress in my life, but my experience of that stress is different. And until I had these two conversations last week, I didn't realize within myself that my sleep has been completely different. Like, I rarely wake up in the middle of the night thinking about practice. I rarely wake up in the middle of the night thinking that it's all gonna fall apart. Like, my head hits a pillow, I fall asleep. The only time I wake up is if Heather hits me because I'm snoring too loud because I'm in such a deep sleep, which has never happened before. And so what's interesting about this concept is, like, it was so subtle that it literally took me months later to realize some of the differences that I have experienced with chiropractic care just as a result of getting adjusted by someone who is exceptional, not just okay, at the care that we provide, because we do it differently in our office, because we have a different thought process, because we use tools to adjust in a very specific way that affects the brain in a very specific way. And I share this with you because there are these subtle differences that unless you can tune in, like, you'll miss the power of everything that's happening. Like, it took this mom a year plus to really tap into and realize what she has gained in her life that has been there from a very short time under care with us, but like sitting back in a place of reflection and pausing and taking a moment and taking a breath and realizing, like, man, this is where I was and here's where I am now. Like, my sleep before Dr. Taylor got here was way worse than it is now. And the only thing that has changed, literally the only thing that has changed, is that I get adjusted multiple times a week by her. And is it because she's a special magical doctor? Yes, she's amazing at what she does, but the process by which we do things in our office is different, and now I get to experience it for myself. So many times, I teach this to people every day. I talk about how people's stress levels are gonna be less, how people are gonna be able to express more passion and more purpose, how people are gonna sleep better, how people are going to deal with their emotional regulation better, how people are gonna make better decisions, how people are gonna make more money, how people are gonna experience less pain, how people are gonna have boosted immune systems. Like, I talk about all this stuff every day, day in, day out. And what I realize is that even for me, the teacher of the stuff, I had to literally take a pause and a moment and step back and reflect and say, these are the amazing, life-changing benefits that I have experienced from chiropractic care for myself. When I first started using chiropractic care, I literally was awakened to a new reality inside of my life where I could make different decisions and I could express more passion and purpose. And I realized that what I was doing for work, I was not passionate, I was not present about, I was not purposeful about. And the profit and the money I made inside of my life, my paycheck, literally reflected that lack of passion and lack of purpose. And when I went after something greater, all of those things changed. My relationships changed. The money we made changed. The people I surround myself with and the people who are surrounded by me changed. The way I show up for my family has all changed. And it's a result of chiropractic care. And now I'm looking back, like literally for the last 5 years, I've had okay chiropractic care, subpar. And now Dr. Taylor's adjusting me and I'm having this level of sleep that I haven't had in, like, I don't even know when. And it's so cool. It's so cool to see, because this is the interesting piece of it, is that because I sleep better, I show up better for Heather and Coco. Because I sleep better, I can show up better for every single client that steps inside of our office so I can serve at a higher level. Because I sleep better, because I chose to invest in myself as a person and get chiropractic care for me, everything in my life is different and better. Like, literally everything. Sleep is the foundation, and underneath that foundation of sleep is literally having a healthy nervous system. And since my brain is more on fire, my sleep is more on fire. My relationships, sex life with Heather is more on fire. Yes, these are nitty-gritty details, but it's all true. My recovery from workouts is more on fire. My body looks better than it ever has. I'm more mentally clear and more connected to God. I just got baptized this weekend as a result of one thing and one thing only, and it's literally chiropractic care. And I am not saying this lightly. This is not a sales pitch. I'm telling you, I've experienced it for myself, and I've seen it with the people who say, like, I can't go to the gym anymore. I'm frustrated. I don't feel like myself. Like, I know that person's inside of me, but I just can't seem to express them no matter how hard I try. Like, I used to be the anxious mom who would yell at my kids, and then I wondered why I was being just like my dad, even though I told myself that I would never do those things, and now it's all gone away. Or this doctor told me that my kid would never be able to do X, Y, Z, and now they're doing all of those things abundantly. It's because of one reason and one reason only. It's because chiropractic care allows you to tap into the deepest version of yourself. Because when your nervous system is in a rest and digest state, it allows full, free expression of you. When we adjust you, we're connecting you back to you. Any symptoms that you or someone struggling who you know has is a result of stress stuck on in the nervous system. And there's only one way to actually address that stress stuck on in the nervous system, and it's not to meditate more, it's not to take melatonin, it's not to take a different pill. Trust me, I've tried all that stuff, and the only thing that has worked for me and the hundreds of clients and thousands of clients that we've seen inside of Nexus Family Chiropractic is literally one thing, and it's brain-based chiropractic care. So my friends, here's my question I have for you. Just like I experienced for myself, where in your life have you felt stuck? Where in your life have you not taken a moment to pause and step back and look at, here's where I was and here's where I am now? And if you're under care with us, then think about the journey that you've been on. Because I know sometimes, even for me, I'm teaching this every day in, day out, I didn't even realize how big of a deal it is that my sleep has changed. And when you realize the power and the impact that this has on you and the people around you and the family dynamic, like, it makes it a no-brainer. There's no amount of money that I would pay to have a deeper connection to my wife and kids. And yet, like, I hear this all the time from families. They're like, it is so worth it. It's the best investment we ever made. Why is it the best investment you ever made? Because literally what we're doing is we're waking up the nervous system, the one thing that connects you to God, the one thing that connects you to you, the one thing that allows you to be the highest version, most powerful version of yourself. So my friends, where is it in your life? Like, take a moment, pause, take a breath, look at, where was I? Where am I now? And if there's still more to be had, and you haven't tried chiropractic care as a piece of that, I'm going to encourage you to try. My friends, that's all I have for you for this episode. If you got some value out of it, do me one of two things. One, leave a rating. Two, leave a review. If you're into YouTube and seeing a video of me speaking, you can always check that out. You can subscribe on YouTube. It's Nexus Family Chiropractic as well. And I will come at you again always next week. Peace.